Hey everybody, today on Passion for Food, we're going to be making an easy romantic dinner for two, which is this 4-ingredient coq au vin. Which admittedly looks and sounds super fancy, but it literally translates to chicken with wine. So if you're feeling a little chicken about trying a new recipe, don't worry, we've kept all the amazing flavors while ditching the fussy recipes. So let's flock on over and get started. And the first of our 4 ingredients is some nice quality bacon. For the maximum umami savory oomph, I recommend 2 slices of bacon per chicken thigh, and we're going to be using 4 thighs today, so that's a total of 8 slices of bacon. And I know what you're thinking here, only 8 slices of bacon? I know, we're just going to have to make do. So we just want to slice those into about inch-long pieces. We don't need to worry about separating those quite yet, as that will happen all on its own as we cook these. So into a dry cast iron pan we go, but we're also going to add just a splash of water to help render out some of that fat. That'll just get things cooking easier for us. And as for the pan, I highly recommend either stainless steel or cast iron. We actually want all of those little brown bits getting stuck and caramelized to the bottom. That's going to form the base of our amazing sauce later on. You can totally use nonstick if you want, just ignore the faint weeping of angels you hear. I'm sure they'll be fine. Anyway, once our bacon is nice and crispy, we just want to pull it out of here while we reserve those bacon drippings. As our bacon is pulling double duty here, both as an amazing flavor and as the fat we're going to use to sear our chicken. And here we have our chicken thighs with just a little salt and pepper. Salt and pepper don't count as official ingredients because reasons. I think the bone-in, skin-on thighs are the perfect cut for this. Drumsticks would be my second choice, but definitely stay away from chicken breasts. They will just get way too dry and your final dish will be kind of unpleasant, so don't do that. After 2 or 3 minutes at medium-high, we can give this a quick check, and you can see it's developed a very nice golden brown color there, so we'll go ahead and flip these over and sear this other side for another 3 minutes or so. Once we've achieved a nice golden brown color on both sides, I'm just going to pull these off and put them right on top of the bacon. We'll need those again in just a moment. So let's set those aside, and before we proceed, we do have a lot of great flavors in the pan here, but also a lot of fat. So we're just going to drain off pretty much all of that bacon fat here real quick. And with all that fat gone, you can definitely see what I was talking about with all that crusted on brown goodness. Now, if you were using a non-stick pan, you just don't have any of that. So to get all of that wonderful flavor dissolved, we're going to deglaze this with about a cup of chicken stock. Yes, that is one of the official ingredients. It was actually kind of a tough call for me between that or using a sliced onion in the recipe, but ultimately the chicken stock is already made with onions, so I figured it would be better to use the stock. And speaking of difficult ingredient choices, here's one that shouldn't be, the wine we're going to use. We really just want to pick a red wine that we'd be happy to drink. If you actually don't like red wine, don't worry, you'll still love this dish. The flavor changes radically as it cooks. My wife can't stand red wine, but she loves this coq au vin. And we want about a cup of that. I'm using a relatively young Merlot here. You definitely don't have to overspend on the wine. This was actually a $3 bottle of wine, believe it or not. I know people get awfully persnickety about their wine, but hey, you know, I brewed wine for over 10 years and I just don't buy into all the wine snobbery. Anyway, now that I've ruffled the feathers of the wine drinkers in the audience, let's go ahead and give this a stir, and we just want to dissolve all of those nice brown bits that we have accumulated on our pan. At which point we just want to slide our crispy bacon and seared chicken straight back in. And as we bring this up to a simmer, we just want to look and evaluate our braising liquid. We want that about 2/3 the way up the side of the chicken, so I'm going to add enough water to get us there. That was about an extra cup. And once that starts simmering away nicely for us, we'll fly this off to a preheated 350-degree oven for 1 hour. And once we pull this off, you can see the braising liquid has reduced and the chicken has developed an amazingly beautiful color. Now, a lot of the coq au vin recipes you'll see will try and overcomplicate things by suggesting you should open the oven halfway to baste the wine braising liquid over the chicken, but as you can see, I think all of the spattering and bubbling as the chicken cooks basically self-bastes them, so that's kind of a waste of time. I wouldn't do that. Now, at this point, we have a little decision to make about whether or not we want to thicken up this sauce or just leave it as is. Either way, you do want to give it a quick taste for seasoning, but it shouldn't really need any, especially with all of that bacon and the chicken stock. This was perfect. If you decide you do want to thicken yours, I suggest about 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch with a tablespoon of cold water. I know that technically makes it a 5-ingredient coq au vin. I won't tell anyone if you don't. So let's go ahead and grab a plate here, and I'm pairing this with our wonderful sour cream mashed potatoes. Have a look at the link in the top right if you'd like to make that, but it also pairs wonderfully with plain white rice, or really whatever else you'd like to serve it with. You know, it was kind of funny when I was doing research for this recipe. I looked through all the easy coq au vin recipes online I could find, and you'd be surprised how many of them have just plastered the label easy onto the front of their recipe. You know, it's still pretty much the standard recipe with 15 or 25 different ingredients. But not only is this version super easy, it gets to the core flavors that coq au vin are all about. You get a great deep savory flavor from that bacon and seared chicken, which plays off wonderfully against the slight acidity and sweetness of our red wine. Honestly, I think this is my favorite way to prepare chicken thighs, and with this amazingly quick and easy recipe, I'll be doing it a lot more often. I really hope you've enjoyed today's episode of Passion for Food. If you have, give me a thumbs up below and consider subscribing and hitting that little bell so you don't miss our future episodes. And to really help the channel grow, consider sharing this video. This has been Graham with Passion for Food.